Um, 24 hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well, come to find out, this person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. So, Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% tithes to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever.
A not Kim Kardashian getting exposed for being Diddy's pimp and paying off his freak-off partners. Chile, every time we start thinking that 2024 couldn't possibly get any worse, the universe says psych, and something crazier happens to make us question what we know about our favorite celebs for a minute. Now fans have been suspecting that Kim knows more about Diddy's activities than she was letting on. And it looks like we finally have some proof of that, because new information shows that not only did Kim know about Diddy's nasty activities, but she also allegedly helped him hide the evidence and pay his victims in exchange for some money. Girl, y'all need to get on this drama and hold on to your edges because this situation is insane. Now, did Kim really plot with Diddy to get Kanye West committed to a mental facility so they could steal his money?
Look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly, it took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look.
They would have Michael Jackson,
or worse, yeah. So look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain.
Y'all, Cat Williams was not joking when he said that Diddy is not the only celeb going down, because a lot of celebs are going down with him. And it looks like Kim Kardashian is one of those celebs going down with him. And y'all won't believe the crazy things that Kim is accused of doing for Diddy, because there are reports that she allegedly helped Diddy pay off his victims and freak-off partners. So it seems like Kim Kardashian might have been pulling the over our eyes when it comes to her bank account. The grapevine is buzzing with rumors that she's facing some serious financial woes, and it's almost impossible to deny it. You know how Kim and her sisters are all about flaunting their wealth on social media with their fancy rides and lavish mansions. Well, turns out things might not be as rosy as they seem, because Kim's apparently swimming in debt. First, let's talk about Kim's money moves. She's always had a bit of a shady rep when it comes to finances, willing to do just about anything to make money. Rumor has it she's not afraid to get her hands dirty. There have been whispers about her dabbling in some less than legal activities, even cozying up to some shady characters in the money game. And let's not forget her days before fame when she was working as a closet assistant for Brandy. Word on the street is that Kim didn't play fair back then, and she has been accused of stealing from Brandy with the help of her sister Khloé. So here's the lowdown on what went down with Kim's stint as Bry's closet assistant. Back in the day, Kim had her hands on Bry's credit card for a one-time purchase, and it was Bry's mom who was keeping tabs on the card. But here's where things took a turn after Kim parted ways with Brandy. She, along with Khloé and their brother Rob, saw an opportunity and stole a hefty $120,000 from Bry's mom. Kim held on to those credit card details for years, waiting for the perfect moment to make her move. And when she thought enough time had passed, she went for it to cover their tracks. They funneled the stolen cash through their own stores, Dash and Smooch, instead of blowing it all at once. They figured it'd be harder to sniff out since Brandy was already known for her shopping spree. But guess what? They got caught red-handed, because those transactions weren't authorized by Bry's mom, who was in charge of the payment. At first, Bry's mom tried to keep things chill, giving Kim a chance to make things right without getting the law involved, all thanks to their connections with Brandy and Ray J. But when Kim kept stalling for over a year without coughing up the cash, Brandy and Ray J's mom decided enough was enough and sued them. However, Brandy and Ray J managed to smooth things over, convincing their mom to drop the lawsuit and sort things out behind closed doors. According to Ray J, this whole debacle was the straw that broke the camel's back in his relationship with Kim. And this was the real reason that he broke up with her, not because of their adult tappy. That wasn't the last time Kim was involved in such shenanigans. because she was also linked to a money laundering scheme before her rise to fame. She had a sugar daddy named Joe Lowe, an Asian man whom she has been accused of helping launder illegal money. Insiders claim that Kim frequently traveled with Julal to gambling houses and casinos, and in 2009 she even claimed to have flown back to LA with a trash bag full of $250,000 cash that he won from a casino in Las Vegas. But it turns out that this might have been part of a larger money laundering scheme, as Jolo has been implicated in such activities. The insider wrote Lowe is wanted by international authorities in connection with a multi-billion-dollar money laundering scam. He is accused of being the mastermind behind a scheme to siphon $4.5 billion from the Malaysian state-run Economic Development Fund 1 Malaysia Development BAD. So here's where things start to take a real twist with Kim and her crew. Despite getting the FBI's attention and being under investigation, she somehow managed to slip through the cracks without facing any charges. But hold on to your hats, because it gets even more bizarre. There's been some eyebrow-raising speculation that the Kardashian-Jenner clan might not be rolling in money as much as they let on. Rumor has it they've been playing fast and loose with their taxes, using a rather unconventional tactic involving the California Community Church. This church was actually set up by none other than the Kard Jenner Momer herself, Kris Jenner, back in 2009. It's registered as a nonprofit and asks members to pay up $1,000 every month, plus donate 10% of their yearly earnings. And guess who's leading the pack in these so-called donations? Yep, you guessed it, the Kardashians themselves. Now here's where it gets a bit sketchy. That 10% donation translates into a sweet tax break each year. And considering Kim's claiming she rakes in about $80 million annually, that's a whopping $8 million off her taxes. But wait, there's more. Kris Jenner just so happens to be the one running the show at the church, which means when the Kard Jenner sisters fork over their 10%, it's essentially lining their mom's pockets. And here's the kicker, Kris could easily find a way to funnel that money right back to them, meaning they're not really giving up anything at all, yet still reaping the benefits of a fat tax break. Talk about playing the system. Now, I need y'all to keep this part about the church in mind, because we're going to circle back to it in a bit. Okay, back to the Kardashians and their shady money moves. The whole situation appears to be quite suspicious, and it certainly comes across as shady AF. But it still doesn't end there, because a lot of things don't seem to add up about Kim's finances, and people are convinced that she has been inflating her income and net worth. This kind of shadiness is nothing new to the Kardashians, because we all remember how Kylie was exposed by Forbes for lying about how much her Kylie Cosmetics brand was worth, and she ended up losing her billionaire status. While Kim is still officially a billionaire, but people think that she doesn't act like it. In 2022, she was investigated by the SEC after she advertised the cryptocurrency Ethereum Max without adding a disclaimer to show that it was a sponsored ad. And she had gotten paid to do so. This led to a pump and dump scheme involving the cryptocurrency, and Kim got caught up in that whirlwind, too. She was slapped with a hefty fine of $1.26 million for her part in the shady business. But wait, there's more brewing. Despite being a billionaire, or at least claiming to be, folks are side-eyeing Kim's Instagram hustle. I mean, seriously, billionaire status and still running ads on the gram. It's got people scratching their heads. It's a bit more Instagram influencer vibes than billionaire business mogul. You know, this led to some more reports that Kim and her entire family were not swimming in cash as much as they would like us to believe. Don't get me wrong, she's not exactly broke or hurting for dough. But she don't got that much of it. It got more interesting when we found out that while they were married, Kanye made sure to keep his finances separate from hers even when they were all lovey-dovey. He wasn't about to get tangled up in her money mess and risk taking a hit to his own bank account. Sources spilled the beans to People magazine, revealing that Kim and Kanye keep their cash flow strictly divided. It's all about my money and her money in their household. So yeah, it looks like even in the land of the rich and famous, it's every person for themselves when it comes to the moolah. And it looks like her financial troubles have only gotten worse since her divorce from Kanye, because last year it was reported that she was in a heavy debt of $48 million. Which is just insane to think about. According to reports, she took out a mortgage of $48 million on her $70 million mansion. And the crazy thing is that she can't ask her family for help, because every single one of them is heavily in debt. Her mom, Kris Jenner, has a very long list of debt. And according to The Sun, she first of all took out a loan for $725 million in August 2018. But the following month, that was superseded by a new agreement for a whopping $40 million loan through the financial company Crosswind Venture Fund, Then in January 2019, she borrowed $5.2 million and $5.25 million in June of that year, according to property records. Kylie also borrowed $7.5 million, and long story short, the Kardashians are $132 million in debt, which is just wild. But hey, they got to pay for the designer clothes and private jets somehow, right? Plus, their financial worries are just the latest in a long streak of what people are calling their flop era. And they might want to level up their game soon. Oh, and if Kim thinks Kanye might bail her out, well, she better think again. Because sources report that Kanye is 100% focused on his new wife Bianca Kourtney and has zero thoughts or regard toward Kim outside of their 4 kids. Chile, we could have told her that for free.